morning, lost souls. My name is Nyla, and I will be your guide through the abyss. Today's reading, well, we don't really know what today's reading is going to be, so so we will get into the cards. Um, for today's reading, we do have the Yu-Gi-Oh deck with. I think we're going to pull out the Inner Child deck this time around. I have uh I have both the Shadow Work deck and the Child Work deck in the same box, but they're separated, and you can tell which one is which because the Child Work deck is a little bit more white, and the Shadow Work deck in there is uh a lot of the cards in there are much older, so you can definitely tell which one is which. So that's why I have them, all in the same box. But anyway, um, moving on from that, we will be using the Moonology deck for clarification when the childbirth. If there are cards in the child work, the inner child deck that come up that I don't fully understand for the reading, and then we will be using the Star Dragons Oracle for the action card today. Before we do this, I do want to get into an invocation to invite the dark divine spirits into this reading so that they may give us their wisdom. So let us begin. We invite all of the dark divine uh, gods and goddesses and entities who work for and with them into this reading. Above all else, we invite the Mother Hecate, goddess of witches, mother of witches. We invite her above all else, above all others, for her divine wisdom and guidance through the abyss. We invite all of these dark gods and goddesses and entities who work with them into the abyss that is uh, our current state, our current home. We invite you all to dive deep with us so that we may understand this reality a little bit more than we already do. Thank you. Blessed be. All right. Let's get into the cards. Wisdom and guidance for the collective in their inner child. Please, uh, divine, dark gods and goddesses and spirits alike. Please help me show them their highest good on this day. Allow me to be a messenger for you and your divine wisdom and guidance. Above all others, especially you, Mother Hecate. My bad. Kind of bent these cards up. I'm going to try to fix that. That was a scuffed shuffle, but we're doing the best that we can here. So, no harm, no foul, right? No harm, no foul. We take things as they come and hold no judgment on those things. until it is decided whether or not that the judgment is needed or warranted. Right. So, do the split down the middle. Put that back here, as always. And we get into the cards. I will be doing a 3-card pull today, much like I have in previous videos. Alright, let's get into the first card. Ooh, Tune Table of Contents. This is from, this card comes from the Akashic Records. This is past life, in the information that is coming in. So we're about to get into some past life stuff. That's going to be very interesting. Let's see what the past life has to say. Righteous justice. So, someone in the collective right now is receiving justice for something that happened in their past life. Um, Escape of the Unchained. Oh, someone, someone in the collective right now, it has some ancestry that might come from slavery, right? Might have come from some type of slave trade. I know that there is slave trade in both uh black and white uh history. There you have the Irish who were enslaved, and then you have, the uh you have slavery from over in Africa. And so the past life here is telling you that whatever feelings you might be having from the past life, that these things have already received their justice, and you don't need to seek further justice for yourself or for your people, regardless of which type of slavery that your ancestors were in. You don't have to feel like you have to go and serve justice for, you know, situations that are long beyond yourself. And if you feel guilt or shame or, like other people from this generation owe you some type of reparations or something like that, that is coming from a place of ego. And I'm not talking about spiritual ego, I'm just talking about your ego in general. The ego itself will seek out revenge for things that are not actually related to you specifically. Um, even if this is a you in a past life, your past life self is telling you that it's okay to let go of this. It's okay to heal and move on from this situation. It's telling you to unbind yourself from this situation, to remove your bonds um, from this past life experience that you're holding on to so deeply and so desperately. Um, because it's holding you back. It's keeping you in a mindset that is not healthy for you or for anyone around you. It's causing more harm than it's doing, and then it's helping people. And that's the situation with a lot of these things. As we hold on to these issues and these these ideas of revenge and these ideas that that the world owes you something because of something that happened in a past life that doesn't currently exist in your present life, then we can begin to become resentful. We can begin to become very egotistical and hateful and bigoted and ignorant because we think that we are owed something that we are not owed at all. Um, there is no one and nothing in the world that owes you something. That owes you something. You're not owed anything. Um, but I do believe that you know, justice should be served for those who have received abuse or who have, you know, um, certain issues like being transgender and having their rights stripped away. I do believe that that they deserve to have their justice. I do believe that they deserve it, but I don't think they are owed it unless they can prove themselves to be respectful, unless they can prove themselves to be decent human beings. If anyone in in the LGBTQ QRS whatever whatever you identify as, if you're out there um being an absolute asshole because you think you're owed something, then I don't think you deserve the respect or the justice that you're trying to garner for yourself. I think that you get I believe that you get back whatever you put out. And that's not saying spiritually. I mean physically, whatever type of behavior or action that you put out into the world, I believe that the world should reflect that back at you. You treat people the way you want to be treated. If you're not treating people, kindly and asking, politely for for these justices, for these rights, then I don't believe that you deserve to have them. The only exception, is if those people themselves are attempting to do things um out of spite because you exist, which is a lot of what's happening in our current system, in the current political climate with these religious people. Um, so I do believe that they will get their just desserts. They will get what's coming to them when the time is right. And the people affected by their inability to have compassion for things that they do not understand because they are lost in this religious bullshit that they've been raised up in and indoctrinated into. Um, who don't even These people who don't even have the correct history because they read out of a book that is full of um, translation errors in the especially in the modern Bible, the modern English Bible. Um, they think that they have divine right to enforce their laws onto other people simply because they have the one true truth and everyone else should be following exactly what their book tells them to do, right? So that's the exception to this rule, but as I was saying, you're not owed anything. You're never owed anything, until you become no, not even then. You're not owed anything. Um the universe, the spirit, the divine spirits will graciously give you things when you humble yourself enough um to receive them, because we have a thing in witchcraft that is the threefold law. The threefold law says originally, if someone curses you, you curse them back three times harder. And that is the reality of things. You get out of life what you put into it, and that will always be the truth. So if there are people out there in the collective, reading this right now, who believe, that their ancestors have not gotten their justice, have not received, you know, what they are supposedly owed, then Spirit is telling you that that is not true. Those spirits have gotten their justice. Those spirits have gotten what has been graciously given to them um from the divine. You know, they are in a place that is safe, and that is comforting, and that is um abundant for them. And there is no need to seek justice for those people any further anymore. Um, we have reached a point in time where these injustices are no longer being performed in our country. They exist still in a lot of other countries, and I do believe that liberation for those countries will soon come for all of them. They will receive their justice as the slaves in our country, and as the slaves in the Irish received their justice. But in our society, in the U.S., in the United States of America, slavery is not a thing anymore. And so why are we trying to seek, justice for things that no longer exist in our country? We should be seeking justice for slavery and things that exist in other countries. We should not be focusing on what we have already overcome, what we have already gotten our justice for. So that's what Spirit has come here to tell us today. And that is what the dark divine gods and goddesses have invoked, uh, imparted on us this morning. They've come to tell us that justice has been served with our ancestors um, within the United States, and that goes for the natives as well. Justice um, has and will come for the people who are trying to take more native land and build resort spots and whatever and whatnot. Build suburban blockchains and whatever and whatnot. Justice has and will come for them as well. We don't need to seek out revenge for these people. We should support them um when when support is valid. But we should do our research first. We should do our deep research into whatever is going on, and that's where this table of contents comes in. Do your research before you jump into just anything on the internet. You know, there are a lot of people who will make something up and put it on the internet just to make a quick buck. That happens all the time. So really deep dive into research when you see something online, especially if it involves any type of native or or whatever it is. If it's asking for money, if it's asking for support, if it's asking for you to sign something, do your research first so that you know for sure that that is actually what that is, and not just some type of scam to make a quick buck, because there's a lot of them out there. So yeah, that is what the dark divine spirits have come to do, to tell us today. The knowledge that they have come to impart on us from our past lives, that our ancestors are happy, healthy, and you know, and they want us to forget the past. They want us to move forward from these bonds and these chains that hold us currently, because we believe that we need to seek justice for these past actions that no longer exist within the United States. And I say United States because that's where I am, that's where I live, you know. Mm, my bad. My allergies are acting up again, as they do during winter, because it's cold and dry. But anyway, yeah, that's what spirit, the divine goddesses, and the spirits that accompany them, um, have come to say. So, without further ado, let's since we don't need uh further clarification, let's get into our action card for the day. And as I said, the the action card comes from the Star Dragons Oracle card deck. Guidance and wisdom for the collective's highest good and what actions we should be taking on this day. Thank you and blessed be. Being a little bit quiet, my mind has gone very silent. I think the divine dark gods and goddesses have really spoken their mind on this one, and a lot of peace, a lot of peaceful silence has entered the room right now. I think at this moment, um, my ancestors, my soul team have reached a new state of peace. My my past lives have reached a new state of peace, and it's really good. It's really amazing. It's not something we often experience on our awakening, on our spiritual journey. I'm going to move away from saying awakening. I'm just going to start saying spiritual journey because there are too many red flags in the awakening community right now for me to really embrace that saying or that that state of belief. So yeah, we're going to say spiritual journey from this point forward. Just because I think that it really it doesn't alienate as many people in spirituality as saying the awakening journey does. And I want to be all inclusive. I always want to be all inclusive, so I think that's just that's a plus point. So let's uh let's get into the action card. And today's action card is inspiration, which is a really good card for us to pull on this day. What inspires you, right? What inspires you? What are your desires? What inspires you to chase your desires? What inspires you to be creative? What inspires you to um be humble and to do and be to do good things and be a good person? What are your inspirations? Who are you inspired by? You should definitely do your research when it comes to the people that you are inspired by. That there's that tuna table of contents. You should do your research in who you are allowing to inspire you, because there are a lot of people in the spiritual community who are fraudsters and scam artists, and you want to know who is truly on the spiritual path and who is you know, in it for money, in it for fame, in it for, the in it for the ego, in it for themselves and not for the people who are for the people who are on that particular spiritual path. So, anyway, let's see what the book has to say about it. This book doesn't have a table of contents, so I will have to look through it in order to find this card, which is really annoying. I have looked for a table of contents in this book, and it really just does not seem to have one at all. So that sucks, because it makes it harder for me to find the cards, which means it takes longer for you guys to hear what the card says, what the book says about the card. I'm doing my best to find it. It's really difficult in this book. Here it is. Here it is. All right. So let's see. Listen to the whispers on the wind and the deeper the energies flowing in every situation for new ideas and creativity. They can be found all around you. It's from Wisdom of the Herald. This is Wisdom of the Dragon. There's different points in this book for um this card, so I guess I suppose we will read them all. I'm trying to speak way too fast. I am everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Listen to my call and be inspired. Draw from me from your new undertaking. I will be available to you in all points, times, and places. I am abundant energy just ready to be plucked from the ether. When I strike when I strike, often without warning, be inspired. And that is absolutely true. Um the dragon spirits out there from the from from the other dimension um, oh, I can't think of the name of it right now, but yeah, the other dimension, we'll just say that. Dragons are absolutely amazing spiritual creatures, especially, when it comes to the underworld. They can be very helpful and very informative. Dragons, spiritually, they live for hundreds of thousands, and even millions of years. Like the gods, like some of the gods. But unlike the gods, they are not immortal. They do live for a very, very long time, though. So when a dragon spirit does enter your life, consider that to be, um, a a sign that you are that that spirit has deemed you worthy of its presence, that it has deemed you worthy of its knowledge and of its wisdom, and that is something to be celebrated, that you have reached a point where the dragon spirit has believed you to be respectable enough to share with you its wisdom. It really is an amazing feeling. All right, so move further down and we go into Star Dragon Invocation. The general of inspiration beckons you to heed the call of a source of abundant creativity that is larger than yourself. Draw from the well of inspiration and you will no longer be thirsty. Now is the time for inspiration and creativity to enter your life. So, the spirit dragon of inspiration comes to you to tell you that it is time for the things that inspire you to fan the flames of creativity. It is time for the things that inspire you to fan the flames of your creativity and move you forward in the direction of being more creative with yourself and with the things that you do in life. And yeah, that I think that just about wraps up today's reading. Um, I do in at some point in the future, I want to get into the infernals. Um, but I'm going to have to do some more research on that. I'm going to have to do a lot of studying on that before before we dive into that, before we really deep dive into the left hand path, but we have started on the path um by inviting the divine dark gods and goddesses into today's reading. Which, by the way, thank you, divine dark gods and goddesses. Thank you, Mother Akate, for your wisdom. You made you spirits may depart at this time. Thank you and blessed be. But anyway, I do want to get further into the left-handed path. Um, for future readings and for future knowledge, for future teaching, so that we may, further understand the the truth of darkness and the truth of the abyss that is hiding from us. Um, underneath all of the Christian dogma that excuse me that we have been taught as children. So yeah, that will be a video for the future. So after I do some deep research. Anyway, if you did enjoy this video, please leave a like. Um, leave a comment down below. Let me know your opinions, your thoughts, and your feelings. Um, I hope this video has earned your subscription, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.